Guys, now that we are officially done the game, we have 100% achievements. We had to go through the game one and a partial times. It's time for me to like basically sit down here and discuss it and go over what I thought about the game. So, Dead Take. Essentially, the genre is a psychological horror escape room game. So it's themed along this escape room. You have to like almost Resident Evil in an aspect where you need the right tools, or you can't you have to search for certain things and then come back. I do absolutely adore this genre. Just to give you guys an idea, I love the genre. I think it's super fun. I love figuring stuff out, exploring it. The whole concept to me is very interesting. And obviously, the way this game mixes it up, it does have that escape room kind of feel, but it also mixes in like live action or full motion video, whatever you want to call it, where essentially you are watching everybody's like tapes and cuts and all that sort of thing about this movie that this famed producer is trying to get done. And he's obviously a bit crazy, gone off the deep end, and dudes, like, basically you're trying to figure out what happened to your friend, your actor friend. Obviously, I won't say exactly if you're just tuning in just for the review. Now, let's talk about what I didn't particularly like about the game first thing. So the one thing I will say is, obviously there were some glitches. Many times I encountered it where the audio files weren't working correctly, and I actually missed out on a lot of dialogue. I mean, I had to speak through it, and there was a point where the game actually bugged and it froze me in place right then and there, excuse me. So essentially, I had to quit the game and reload. Not a massive issue, but it's still kind of frustrating. And by the time I realized it, it was a very strange bug. The fact that like music sometimes works and then sometimes it doesn't. Like right now, there's supposed to be music playing, but it's not. So there's a lot of like quirkiness with certain things that are preventing things from working. I will say the whole atmosphere of the game was awesome, but like I want to mention that if you're going back for collectibles like I was, they should really have some sort of a collectible mode, or just a mode I think the save should have taken you right before the point of no return, because there is a point of no return where you can't go back and get anything you missed, and you essentially have to redo everything just to get them all. Mind you, it's not the most overwhelming thing because there's not a ton of lore to get, or that counts for lore, but it still does take up a bit of time. So either way you look at it, I think they needed to dial in a few things here and there. And one thing I will say, the storyline too was very interesting. There's a lot of build up to what could be, and I felt like, without spoiling obviously, I felt like it could have stuck the landing just a little bit better. I think there was a lot of unanswered questions, like the whole story with the son and all that sort of thing, and how it just kind of fizzled. You had to basically assume for yourself that certain things happened, and you don't want to jump the gun and just assume it, but that's basically how it's going to end. You know what I mean? It just goes in another direction. It's like, well, don't get me wrong, it was a bit of a curveball. I just feel like there were a lot of, plot holes and unanswered questions and things that you kind of have to fill in the blanks yourself. I'm not saying all of it was, but there was a section of it that I'm like, okay, so we can assume that's what happened or something similar. And it really is based. It's very important that you do read the lore if you're going to truly understand the story. If you don't read the lore and collect all the lore, you're actually not going to know the whole point of the game, or the deep-rooted nature of the game, and like some of these things and why everyone's here and how they're involved. It's so important. If you just skip through it and just get to the end as fast as possible, you're gonna be scratching your head a lot more than the person who stopped to smell the roses. I'll just say that. Okay, but that's pretty much what I didn't like about the game. What I did like about the game is, honestly, the atmosphere is absolutely stellar. I think it's a really cool environment. It is a little bit just to add to the negative things, the space is kind of generic in certain terms, like this massive open area. It looks a little bit out of proportion, but regardless, it's a really cool theme. A Hollywood Hills mansion of a very successful film producer, and you're going in to find out what happened to your fellow actor. You tried to get an audition, you didn't get it, and you're going in, you're trying to find out what happened to him because he's not answering you. You went to the house, and yeah, you're snooping around to basically try and solve the riddle. And obviously, being an escape room game where you can't access one thing without doing a series of things, but they don't really tell you. You just got to search around, read stuff, and find out. Absolutely fantastic. I've always been a big fan of that, and I think it's just super addicting. So really cool stuff like that. I love it. I love the lore. I love that they have these characters, and I obviously really enjoyed that they integrated the full motion video to give it a little bit of more realism to the game. Makes it feel like this is real, and they're not just actors. They're actors playing actors, which I think is really cool. It's a bit of a change, so I think that's pretty neat. And it's just almost like I don't know, it's almost like an Inception, if you will, with actors. So I think that's pretty cool, and definitely a nice little take. Although some might consider it might be a bit of smoke and mirrors, because when you really do take away that part of the game and you take away all the lore, you can rush through this game in under 2 hours. Which brings me to my point. This game did take me, by reading everything, getting stumped on a few puzzles and things like that, it took me about 5 hours to complete. And obviously the remaining 2 hours right now were spent just going back and getting the remaining achievements. So nothing really crazy, but yeah, so really, if you know exactly where to go, everything's, but that's the case with both of these games. So you will spend, I'd say, probably around 4 to 5 hours, 4 to 6 hours at least, trying to just get through the game on your own, whether or not you're going for all the collectibles or not. And if you are trying to go for all the collectibles, like I said, I do suggest you try and do it all in the first run, or at least in one run before you hit that point of no return, because you'll have to replay everything just to get to stuff that isn't tracked in the game. So just keep that in mind as well. So that is kind of upsetting about that, but overall, great concept. I like the environment. The story was very interesting and had you by the seat of your pants. A bit of a letdown towards the end. I mean, yes, it was still, like I said, it was still surprising and it was a twist, but I feel like there were some plot holes that I think they needed to develop on. So if they had a bit more time, I think it would have been a much more complete package. But overall, really cool, inexpensive game. I think it's only about $14 US, $15 US, something like that. I think it said $13.99 US right now, so it's not expensive, and you'll get like 5 hours out of the deal. And there isn't much replay value because, like I said, everything can be done in the same game. But overall, fantastic game. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was such a cool experience. So based on to sum things up, despite the game being a really cool environment, having an interesting concept, the full motion video, it does have, I think, a couple of issues with the fact that the pacing is a little bit off in certain areas. The lore is very much essential. Otherwise, I mean, I do personally, I don't know, some people might take that as a negative, but I really like it when lore is involved. So I think it's a positive. It encourages you to search, and it doesn't really hold your hand that much. But the puzzles aren't that crazy. Some of them are just like when you finally get it, it's like once you think enough, it makes a ton of sense. But like I said, I feel like some of the environments could have been utilized a little bit better. I think some of the things just feel a little bit clunky. There's a couple of bugs with the audio that messed up progress, that I had to reload the game, just a couple of things like that. So based on all those things, factoring absolutely everything in, I think this game deserves a 7.5 out of 10. I think it was still really solid, good value for money. I just think that there's a couple of things that if you take away, you realize there's a lot of stuff covering up, that the game is very small. But you will spend a good chunk of time. And like I said, as a sheer feeling, I really enjoyed this game. I just don't think I can give it anything higher than a 7.5, because to be honest, there are some things that just don't really do it well for me. And after playing it again, especially after playing it the second time, not being able to skip stuff and realizing I missed a bunch of stuff, or there's not a ton of stuff here when you really think about it. But overall, cool experience, and I really like what they did. Very unique. So that's my take on the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Comment your thoughts below, and subscribe if you're new. Turn on those post notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss anything I put out here on the channel. Be sure to follow my social pages. Got Facebook, X, Instagram, Snapchat, and Discord. Those are linked in the description. If you want to get yourself a shirt or hoodie of mine, there's a link in the description. Also, an embedded feature right below the stream. You can scroll down and see some goodies I have there. Ultimately, just go to the website for the full range of products and customization options there. Big shout out to the sponsors: DX Racer, Bones Coffee, The Ridge Wallet, Mad Rabbit Tattoo. I use their products every single day, and you can check them out for yourselves with the links in the description. Be sure to use my promo code DANQ8000 to save at checkout with them. If you guys want to send something to my P.O. Box, the address for that is in the description as well. Anything sent to that P.O. Box will be open on a social post or on a live stream, depending on what the contents of that particular package would be. So check that out if you're interested in doing that. Finally, guys, be sure to check out and sign up for the Team 8000 membership program. If you haven't done so yet, supports the page immensely. There's 4 tiers, 4 price points. Entry level is just 99 cents, so it's cheap and easy to get into the program. For signing up, you get things like custom badges by your name, custom emojis used in chat, exclusive video stream access, priority and open lobbies, giveaways, discounts, and plenty more. We're working our way back up towards 300 members, sitting in the 260s, so we're getting closer. If you guys want to help us get there, support the channel in the process while you get some cool perks, there is a join button. You can join that, with that link in the description. There's a join button below the stream, also a section on my main channel page as well. If you guys want to gift members or send super chats or even super thanks, depending on when you're watching this video / stream, there's a $sign icon. Click it. You'll see those drop down menu pop out. Click it, and you'll see the options for gifting or sending super chats or whatever. If you are gifting, you can gift 1 to 50 in a single transaction. But ultimately, you can gift as many as you want through multiple transactions, okay? Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we catch you in the next one, all right? We'll see you then. Take care. Peace.
Who's the man with the plan? If you feel trouble wild and wild on these violent and hit you 8,000. Wait a minute, hold that style, it's dialed in. Got damn Billy Jack. We still riding, tires flat. I hear them sirens, see shots flying. So we driving, fire back if they ain't vibing. Lie with that. Got me dressed up in all black. What up? Hood up, and I see them haters try to run with us. They gon' need inhalers. Gotta breathe them hard just like Darth Vader. Players, grab your respirators. Night invaders get lightsabered. Mask on for the shooters. Move like trash to bed intruder. Got that Glock and got them woofers. Just press play, I'll keep it moving. Who is knock? Still you damn fools. Keep it fresh like canned food. There ain't nothing we can't do. So tune into that damn cue. Yeah. It was never, ever a game.